Hey, we are getting into another OG or no G. Last time we reviewed the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation, and that was definitely an OG. If you want to see my thoughts on that foundation, go ahead and click that link. But we already talked about that in that video, okay? This video is going to be another foundation. This series started because I was looking for a high-end foundation that was well-known and everybody liked. But for this series, I want to go over not only high-end foundations that are well-known, but drugstore foundations that are well-known. CoverGirl, Revlon, Maybelline, NYX, Juvia's Place, all of those brands. So for today's OG or no G, we are going to be trying and testing the Maybelline Superstay 30-Hour Wear Lumi Matte Foundation. Yeah, she got a lot of names. So this is not the first foundation I have of the Superstay collection. I have their powder foundation. I also have their skin tint. So trying their Lumi Matte foundation is just the next step. This foundation retails for $15.99 and it has 24 shades. So according to Ulta's website, the real name of this foundation is the Superstay Up to 30-Hour Wear Lumi Matte Longwear Foundation. Just as long, y'all. This foundation retails for $15.99 and it comes in 24 shades. Claims to deliver long wear buildable full coverage that lasts all day. Light as air formula that feels like nothing on the skin. It claims to be sweat resistant, water resistant, transfer resistant, as well as sweat resistant for shine control. This is a vegan formula and it states that it's suitable for all skin types, even sensitive skin. The shade I picked up is 368. If you look on my TikTok, I looked at many different other shades because I feel like this is just a little too dark. Hopefully it just is looking good, child. Like, that's all we can ask for, to be honest. Now, I know this is sort of new to the market, and while Maybelline is a well-renowned known OG brand, it's not an OG. However, I also hope to use this series to see if it belongs there and if it will get there. Alrighty, so let's pull this hair back. Don't be looking too hard. So the instructions say take 1 to 2 pumps, so I'm going to take 2. Ooh! First impressions, it is very matte. First impressions, it's matte. However, I can still see a lot of shine and shimmer in the skin. So I would say this is medium coverage. I can't see my acne scars, but like, I still know that they're there. You know what I mean? Like, I can still kind of see them. It's laying down really smooth. Y'all, I'm gonna be looking dark today. So first impressions, it's laying down really matte, actually. It's confusing me because it doesn't look matte. Like, it looks matte, and I know that it feels matte, but it's still giving me a shine. I'm going to use my Juvia's Place bronzer in the shade Amber because we still got a bronze. For blushes and bronzers, Rare Beauty is also one of the wettest products on the market. So to really get that test of products that could move the foundation underneath, I'm going to go in with this. So as this is pretty warm, I'm going to neutralize it using a Fenty Beauty concealer. So this is really matte, like around my mouth right now, and the way like that concealer kind of like glided on with the applicator, it's really matte. And you can't tell because I added like the Rare Beauty around my mouth. It's dried down. I don't think she going nowhere. Maybe able to argue applying concealers where I applied foundation is not giving the foundation a fair review. However, it's not called foundation for nothing. Like, foundation of the makeup is literally the first layer that everything is built upon. So if nothing can build upon it, it's not a good foundation. Oh no, I don't need you, but I miss you. Come here. Okay, maybe Mitchell still got a use today. Yeah. So far, the foundation is too matte for me to like really get into. Like, it's giving Lumi because all of the products I applied, the Rare Beauty, the Juvia's Place, of course it's gonna look shiny, but as far as like around my mouth, it's not giving me like luminous or like lived in kind of what Lumi is supposed to give. Kind of, it's just giving like plain matte, and I don't really understand that. So I will say that I did not move under all the things that I put on my face. Like, out of everything, it did not move or budge, probably because it's so matte. Let's move on. we know that I powder down, okay? So even though it's already giving matte, that does not deter me from placing my powders on down boots. This is also why I hate doing brows first, because they look freaking ridiculous right now and it really just pisses me off. Oh my gosh, I look extremely powdery. Y'all know I used the same amount of powders that I did for my last foundation review. I look extremely powdery. So let's add some more powders. Let's see if this Kylie bronzer shows up. Powder blush. Now that we have our powders laid down, it's time for spraying. Spraying is a wet product, one of the wettest products ever in the world. And if you when you spray it on top, things could move, things could go left, things could go right up and down. Also, update, for as much powders that I put on, the matteness that I was discussing enhanced now, but not in a way that's like life sucking. It's just giving like more glam now. It's like it's making more sense now, like it's putting it all together now, and now I'm not as mad at it. Now I'm not as mad. Okay, at first I was a little salty. It looks really good, and it's not moving underneath, and it's not clinging or getting patchy. It is like enhancing my texture a little bit, especially like the mustache area. But now that we have our powders laid down, it's time for spraying. So spraying is a wet product, one of the wettest products ever in the world. And when you spray it on top, things could move, things could go left, things could go right up and down. Ooh. Everything is done. I'm gonna add my finishing touches and we'll be back for the final review. Is she an OG or an OG, y'all? I don't know. It's up in the air. It's up in the air. All right, we're back with the final look. This is what it's looking like. Focus on what's on the skin, okay? Don't focus on the face. Focus on the skin. I know you can get distracted. So first lay down, everything was looking good. I could tell that it was really matte, but I could still see that it had that luminous effect that it literally has in the name of the foundation. Moving on to wet products like blushes and bronzers, I could see that the product was getting more matte, and it was like really just on the skin. Like, I don't want to say clinging, but it was like, it was on there, okay? And I could tell it wasn't going anywhere, and it didn't. And it was at that point where I was iffy about the foundation, because I kind of didn't like obviously the color that was going on, but also seemed like the luminous aspects of the foundation were strictly on where your face would show up as luminous anywhere, like the high points of your cheek. It was really matte, and I wasn't really enjoying it at that point. Moving on to powders, if you don't like the effect that the matte gives you, you're not going to like it when it gets even more matte with powders. However, when I applied more powders, it gave life to the matteness, if that to the matteness. It kind of gave life to the matteness, if that makes any sense, because when you apply like wet and then it's just like matte, it just kind of like the contrast is like really weird. When I applied powders, I kind of started to enjoy it more. Moving on to setting spray, it did not move, and I applied just a tiny bit more than I usually would because it is matter, and I wanted all those powders to kind of blend into everything. So I applied a little more than I usually would. But however, it did not move, it did not shift, and it dried down really nicely. I obviously have very luminous activity going on here, and it's also still very matte, but it's giving a more like, it's not as clingy as it was before without setting spray, and it gives a more like kind of softer appearance, which I like. So while this foundation took a while to grow on me, I don't dislike this foundation. I think it's really cute. I think it's really nice, and it's good for the price point. However, is the Maybelline's 30-Hour Superstay Luminous Matte Foundation an OG or a no-G? I would have to say it is a no-G. I don't y'all, this is the first no-G on the channel. Like, I don't know why this is popular. It's giving Maybelline Fit Me. It's giving fit me, and this is like I think $10 compared to $15.99, $16. I don't get the point of this foundation. TikTok girlies, y'all lying. Because it's like a Lumi matte, you can like say it's a dupe for the Nars light reflecting. It's not whatsoever. Doesn't give me a skin like finish, which is what it claims to do. As far as a light as air formula, yeah, actually I think it's very like lightweight. And as far as the coverage, I think that's really good. So as for now, with the application test, I would give this a no-G. However, it's in the title. It's supposed to give 30-hour wear. I'm not gonna wear this for 30 hours. I'm not. It does say it's supposed to be sweat, water, and transfer resistant. As an oily girl, we're going to be testing this foundation out all day. In Northern California, we are having a heat wave. Make it make sense. So I'm going to be going out and about and seeing what we can do with this shine control, to see what we can do with this sweat resistant. If maybe it can change my mind of OG or no G. If it is as long wearing as it claims to be, I don't dislike it. So we can see if it deserves OG status if it lasts as long as it says it does. I'll see you later. Hey y'all, so it's the end of the day. Today I put on this base and was finishing out the door by like 1:10, 1:15, and right now it's 8:50, and this is what it looks like. Nice. So I didn't touch it up with powder or anything, no matter how badly I want to, just from the looks of it. I've mentioned in other videos that I mostly wear in my foundation like around my mouth dark pigmentation, like just like right here for some reason. You can't see it. It's not there. This foundation wears very good throughout the day. Verdict is I would still not give it an OG status. However, it's a very good choice for a drugstore foundation if you're looking for one. But if you have dry patches and if you have dry skin overall, I would not give it a go. However, if you're oily girly, I would try it. I would give it a go, but overall not an OG. So if overall, I would kind of give this foundation like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like, it's not my favorite at all. If you have another OG foundation we should try, comment down below and give this video a like, and I'll see you later. Bye. In the midst of me trying to go to bed, I was just like, let me just add some powder just to take away the shine, just to see what she's talking about, and y'all, it's looking too good. Like, it looks like I kind of just put it on. I'm kind of upset that I was like kind of trashing on it the entire time because it kind of looks good. I never said she didn't look good though. I never said that. I just said that she wasn't my favorite, but